Hey there, this is Kristen Winfrey with Legacy Transactions, bringing you another Tuesday tip. This week, we are going to talk about seller concessions. This is part 2. Last week, we had our part 1. So if you missed that, go back and watch that video. You can find that on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. Let's take a quick look at our amendment here. This is what I want to talk about on seller concessions. So when you are negotiating, maybe during the option period or really anytime during the contract, if you need to change the seller concessions that is on the contract, you will do so in paragraph 4 here. And I will say the amount in paragraph 12.1a or 12.1b of the contract is changed to whatever dollar amount you're putting. What I really want to point out is that if there are seller concessions already on the contract, you need to make sure however much you're wanting in seller concessions, you add that to what's currently on the contract. So for example, in this contract, we have $7,200 in seller concessions. So if you were going to ask for $2,000 more in seller concessions, that would become $9,200. So always add to make sure you don't accidentally leave them with less seller concessions. And then secondly, you want to make sure that the amount of seller concessions that you are going to be putting on this amendment does not go over what they can actually receive per the loan guidelines. So last week in our Tuesday tip, you'll remember we talked about what is the percentage that they can get based on the loan type of seller concessions. So if the lender says that's too high, the buyer cannot get $9,200 in seller concessions, at that point, what you would want to do is either take money off the price to adjust for those the difference in the seller concessions. So you could do a certain amount added to the seller concessions here. So let's say they can get $8,200, but they couldn't get $9,200. So we could do $8,200 in seller concessions and then take $1,000 off the price of the contract. Now, if the buyers don't have the money to make those repairs, if they don't get it all in seller concessions, then that might be a situation where you would want to ask for certain repairs to be done and then the remainder in seller concessions. So just keep that in mind whenever you are writing amendments. If you have any questions on seller concessions, feel free to reach out. We hope you have a fantastic week.